we're going to talk about Bitcoin, DeFi, and staking for this panel with this panelists. I want to ask Fisher this question first. So can you briefly overview your project and how it is contributing to the development of Bitcoin, DeFi, and staking?
So most of the Bitcoins are sitting there idle, not generating any yield. And what's the reason? The main reason is that there hasn't been any very reliable yield-generating protocols for Bitcoin, meaning that for all the existing protocols, you have to give your Bitcoin to someone else and trust a third party in order to have some utility of the Bitcoin. So with the Babylon, what we try to achieve is trustless yield generation for Bitcoin holders. So we pick Bitcoin staking as the direction, where Bitcoin become a stakeable asset for proof-of-stake systems and to provide staking security for those systems so that Bitcoin holders can earn a staking reward as their yield. Yeah, thanks.
We have noticed the same issue. BTC holders reluctantly wanting to put their BTC and engage in DeFi. So we thought of using the BTC as collateral so that our user can mint stablecoin. The approach is helping the user to mint stablecoin on any of the ecosystem. So you name it, Ethereum, Solana, or any other ecosystems. And then we also partner with Babylon for the restaking side, so our user can use the same amount of collateral to both borrow at Yala and do restaking at Babylon. So we think that creates a better liquidity that could avoid liquidity fragmentation.
Thank you. So staking and DeFi on Bitcoin sounds awesome, but Bitcoin has limited programmability, right? How do you guys overcome this programmability issue, scalability issue to overcome this problem?
When I first kind of got into the space, people would say, Bitcoin can't do DeFi, right? And there was a lot of naysayers out there. And I think over the past 18 months, we've really shown, what we can do. And the eruption of these L2s that are coming up now, we've got so many more Bitcoin L2s, where we might have the limitations with the L1, L2s are solving that issue there. But what gets me really excited is, bringing people over, community over, liquidity over, and at Velar, we're doing that, right? So we launched our DEX last year, and we brought over 100K over to the testnet on Bitcoin. And for me, smart people follow the money. For me, that is Bitcoin, and that's what we're doing over at Velar. We're trying to bring people over to the most secure chain.
So before Babylon, people believe Bitcoin staking or Bitcoin DeFi in general is not possible. The reason, there are two misconceptions here. First, for staking, people believe the only way to achieve staking is once the staker attacks the POS system, there should be an evidence generated so that the evidence can be submitted on-chain to be verified so that slashing can be performed. So this evidence-based slashing, people believe it is the only way. But to go to this route, then you will have to assume that Bitcoin chain will be able to verify those evidence that require a smartness on the Bitcoin chain, a lot of smartness on the Bitcoin chain. So this is the first misconception, that evidence-based slashing is the only way. Second misconception is that Bitcoin is completely dumb. Bitcoin is not completely dumb. It does have a scripting language allow you to define some basic operations on the Bitcoin. So what we do at Babylon is to take the immediate step of evidence out. So attacking POS system will directly lead to your Bitcoin to be burned. So that achieves slashing, which is the definitive feature for any staking protocol. So we remove the dependency on the evidence so that Bitcoin doesn't have to be smart to process this. And second, we use Bitcoin script and advanced cryptography to make sure the slashing is safe and correct. Yeah.
So what are the key differences between traditional Bitcoin custody and the new staking yield-generating models your projects offer?
We are targeting two types of users. So you have one side, the retail investors, trying to get those decentralized storage. So that's the requirement from them. Unfortunately, today, there's no Bitcoin-based decentralized storage. So we are TBD on that. We adopt a hybrid model. And on the other side, you have institutions. Institutions are pretty worried about where you stake the BTC, what are the qualified custodian you use. So that's why Yala is trying to cater to both type of customers. So in short, we have partnered with the Spider chain for the on-chain storage, and we are trying to answer with all these asset management firms' requests. Some of them have designed and requested specific custodians. Others are pretty straightforward with Anchorage, Fireblocks, you name it. So the approach is being flexible, and we are very open to any other new innovation on the storage side, and happy to partner with any of those protocols.
Good. Let's talk about yield generation and risk management now. Can you detail your yield generation strategies and how you manage the associated risk? Ryan?
Yes, for sure. I think like the main topic today, BTC staking, I think is the key word and also the key sector in the whole BTC narrative. So I think most of the BTC use comes from BTC staking. So I think there are three scenarios. The first one should be those of like POS chain, kind of EVM compatible chain or non-EVM compatible chains that would like to accept the BTC to be staked to secure their security. So I think that's the first scenario. And the second one is the staking protocol, including like Babylon. I think they are doing a good job. And also like Eigenlayer, Symbiotic, recently they also like accept BTC. So I think there will be more and more kind of BTC staking protocol. But I think like Babylon is the only one that could accept native BTC that doing a like really bring some innovative kind of technical kind of solutions to the space. And then the third scenario is about some trading strategies. I think including like some option strategies, trading strategies at Deribit, or like some funding rate strategy at Binance. I think that's all. That's the third scenario. So mainly these three. And I think like the staking scenario, like the Babylon one, could be the largest one from our perspective, because like this one could be potentially support a lot of kind of ecosystems. So yeah, so that's the current situation.
We also have three different type of yield generating sources. The first one being straightforward is DeFi related. So depending on the user's ask, we help user to stake their stablecoin on any DeFi protocols, MMM pools, liquidity protocols, etc., to mine those yields. Restaking being one of them. And then second part is more related to us. So in the same way as Maker does, we have a Yala reserve. So that reserve is to incentivize people to stake their stablecoin and to earn APY on top of it. And at the end, we want it to be a yield-bearing stablecoin. So in other words, we have to implement some of the TradFi strategies. It could be delta-neutral strategy. It could be relying on loans from RWAs. So all of those are part of the roadmap, and we make sure we can implement step by step while complying to regulations.
What measures have you implemented to ensure the security of users' Bitcoin while it's being used for staking or yield generation? Fisher.
First, I would like to clarify Babylon does not hold users' Bitcoin. So users manage their Bitcoin themselves. They are the only one have the key to their Bitcoins. So we are the protocol developers to make sure the code, the staking contracts are sound and solid. Yeah, we engage with various security audit companies and also public security research campaigns. We work with top cryptography professors in the world, and also engage with the public to keep auditing, reviewing our code, and do rounds of testing to make sure Bitcoin staking is safe.
So we are completely decentralized, right? So we don't have any centralized functions there. So it's on the user, right? The user has the ability to have control of their own wallet. So from a decentralized point of view, that's where we got it covered. And then we have a strong tech team that is constantly monitoring our security measures, and we try to make sure that we keep on top of stuff like that. But not necessarily my absolute speciality. So I don't know if I've answered that quite as well as I could, but. Yeah, thanks anyway.
How do your projects handle cross-chain interactions, particularly when bridging Bitcoin to other networks like DeFi for DeFi operations?
Yeah, we have an in-house indexer. If you know indexer in the EVM world, it's more like a tool to sort data. For us, is a tool to sync those data points and to approve. Sort of consider it a node to validate or reject any transactions. So what we do is we sync data points from the Bitcoin ecosystem to the rest of the ecosystem. And that would be also the tool for us to mint stablecoin natively. So the design of having different modules on different chains is also creating a firewall between the user's assets, which always stay on the BTC, while having the stablecoin as a tool and as an asset to navigate through the different ecosystems. So it is also a way to help our BTC holders to engage, because one of their main concerns was what happened if I stake some BTC on a protocol, there is centralization risk, and that's something we wanted to avoid. So that's how we sort of overcome that roadblock for more BTC holders to get involved.
So firstly, the Bitcoin should be like sitting on like the Bitcoin mainnet for sure, right? So I think most of the time, in terms of all the BTC-Fi kind of projects, we issue a certificates to represent the mainnet BTC. Like say when we work with Babylon, the BTC being staked into Babylon, and then like there's a certificate like on Solv protocol, it's called solvbtc.babylon, and that certificate should be like circulating on EVM compatible chains, including Ethereum, BNB chain, Arbitrum, Merlin, and some others. So currently we are taking like Chainlink CCIP to make the like the solvbtc.babylon kind of certificates be omni-chain compatible with all those of EVM chain. So that's the current situation.
Great. So we're going to talk about the future outlook and challenges from now on. The next question is about the challenges. So regulatory challenges will be quite severe in the Bitcoin DeFi space as well. How do you guys foresee for Bitcoin? What kind of regulatory challenges do you foresee for Bitcoin staking and DeFi? And how is your project preparing to address them? Ryan?
Oh yes, so I think like the regulatory kind of risk it should be like the biggest concern for every single kind of DeFi projects. So I think from our perspective, we really kind of care about this part. But I think like the Ethereum ecosystem already has a lot of kind of good attempts and also could be served as a good kind of reference for us. And so firstly, like the decentralized staking products or assets are unlikely to be deemed as securities at this moment. Right. So I don't know, we don't know the future, but at this moment it's something not that unlikely to be classified as security. So that's why I think like when we work with Babylon, when we work with like some other kind of staking, decentralized staking kind of scenario, I think it's still not that kind of risky at the moment. But yeah, we should really kind of like communicate with like the regulatory very closely to make sure that everything's, if there's anything changed, then we should take action. And when it comes to any type of like the trading strategies, and also there are some centralized platforms being involved, then I think like KYC and AML kind of procedures are really matter that we really need to conduct on the users or the investors on the platform. So that's currently what we're doing. When we work with like Athena to provide kind of CDFI strategy, then we need to, we ask every single users to conduct KYC first. So that's the current kind of, yeah, the solutions that we are taking.
Yeah, sure. I mean, to echo really what Ryan was saying, like, look, we've learned so much from Ethereum DeFi, and at Velar actually we say Ethereum was the test net, Bitcoin's mainnet, right? And it's a little bit of a joke that we have, but really, you know, there's so much we can learn from that. We don't know what we don't know. There's going to be stuff that crops up that, you know, we can't predict, but really what we're passionate about Velar is creating, you know, user-focused products. So regardless of what regulations come up, we can be agile, but we want to make sure that the consumer has the best experience and it doesn't impact them. So we can, you know, as much as possible, try and be as decentralized as we can, but equally, you know, the focus is on the people using it, because if we have great products, then we're going to get people coming over and using Bitcoin DeFi, and that's the ultimate goal for us.
What do you think what kind of innovation and what kind of developments do you expect from the space?
Yep. Yala puts the user at the center of any product design and innovation. So for us, it's more like related to consensus and user experience. We are pretty excited to see partners and other protocols innovating on that side. One of the new innovation is with Comment BTC. This is implemented by the Botanics sidechain, and that helps to achieve up to 5 seconds block, so which is pretty big breakthrough for the existing community. And finally is, how can we onboard more people without having a struggle maintaining different wallets, paying for gas fee, and waiting for transaction settlement? We also try to get this approach quicker and quicker. So that's why our interfaces is also very user-friendly, only having 3 different type of steps for user to connect, choose the DeFi protocols, and then to unstake. This is part of our DNA, and we want to maintain them along the journey that we will begin next month. Testnet is around the corner and launching next month.
From Babylon's side, we are aiming at introducing more native use cases for Bitcoin. So currently, Bitcoin native use cases include holding, payment, and Bitcoin staking is the 3rd native use case for it. But we would like to do research and development to bring even more native use cases of Bitcoin, such as like trustless bridge. Yeah, these are the things we would like to do. And also, we would like to see more matured developer community for the Bitcoin ecosystem, because as Kaitai mentioned, there are many the infrastructure and the tools for the Bitcoin ecosystem, especially even the wallet is very immature, so we have a lot of work to do.
I think like I think the BTC holders are quite different from Ethereum holders. So the risk appetite for them is very conservative, right?
Right.
So I think like the biggest challenge and also a very important innovation should be really building infrastructure to enhance the trustworthiness and also the reliabilities for the whole BTCFi kind of ecosystem. So currently, I think like Solv is building a kind of liquidity consensus network that there is some kind of module. One is called like challenge-proof kind of module that we allow this like module to be able to safeguard against all the like the hackers attacked. So if the hackers hack the certificates, I mean like Solv BTC.Babylon, and there's some way to involve a decentralized governance to really kind of get rid of the kind of unauthorized redemption of the like the Solv BTC or Solv BTC.Babylon, like from the hackers. So I think that's something very important for the whole BTCFi ecosystem.
I'll keep it quick. So at Velar, we are building the first perp DEX on Bitcoin. We're actually launching it this month, so we're really excited about that. And I guess like more innovation, we're working closely with Bitcoin Startup Lab, but we've got a launchpad coming as well. We had a really successful token launch this year. I think we had 127K on our IEO for Bybit, so that was huge. And we're going to try and take those learnings. I think it sold out in 2 minutes as well. But we're going to try and take those learnings and how people, thrive in the ecosystem, bring projects up as well. So they're kind of the two big bits of innovation we've got going on at Velar.
Wonderful. So I used to work for this really big exchange in Korea, and 80% of Bitcoin reserve is staying there and sitting in the account for more than 2 years. Everybody has to know. I strongly encourage Korean investors to learn about these projects, Yala, Babylon, Solv, and Velar. And there is a way to generate yields out of your Bitcoin. So thank you for your wonderful opinions and insights today. That's it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.